Hi everybody, it's Katosis Trading. I want to talk to you today on the ES and do a recap of trading and combine that with a very important rule which I try to trade by. I look for when indicators, particularly moving averages and support and resistance levels, line up. And today was a very good example of how when pivot points and Fibonacci's line up, they can prove to be very powerful entry and exit points for trades. So what we've got here is a chart, and it's not the usual charting platform. It's actually a chart by Quote Tracker fed by Interactive Brokers, and it's still a 1.5 range bar chart, which we've spoken about previously in other videos, but it is a chart of the Globex session. So you can see here that it starts on Sunday in the afternoon, and it combines the Sunday session with Monday's trading. So what we have here is a low which we saw in a Globex session, and we saw the session and Globex rally to test the R1 level, tested and tested it to the tick, and then we saw it retrace. Okay, so what I was looking at before the market opened was a very important setup, and I had it in my scope before the market even opened, that I was going to basically look for any retracement back to the long ambush zone, macro long ambush zone on the Globex session, because it was lining up, as you can see now. I'm just drawing that on the screen. It was lining up pretty much with the pivot point. So you can see that the 50% line was 9.13 and the pivot point was 9.13.5. So within 2 ticks. So what I was looking for was this macro long ambush on the Globex session to take a long trade. And it happened pretty close to the open, where it came back, we got set, and it happened to be one of the best fills on the day. Market then got pushed up by locals, and the locals pushed it through and pushed it up to R2, where it basically was capped for most of the session at R2 and couldn't get through R2 on the day. It got through to 924, but that was it, and had a double top and failed and ran out of steam. So I have a rule, and that's the main point of this exercise, is to teach you that I try to look for the rule of 3. That's like planets aligning, but very rarely does it happen. But I will try to find it where pivot points line up with Fibonacci's, and the third one being EMA's. So if all 3 line up, that's like planets aligning, but if you can get 2 out of those 3, that's a fairly good scorecard, and enough for me to enter a trade or exit a trade based off that. So hope that helps. Stick to your stops until the next update.